Okay, so my first poem is called My Dear. She said she wanted to end her days as a rhyme. She wanted to remain a picture, one moment in time, described by all the words that made up her existence. She asked, could you do this for me? Could you be the writer of my first harmony? Could you make me a work of art, two strokes of one brush a generation apart? And when you grow up, we can regard this together. As our secret masterpiece, our most well-hidden treasure, we can laugh. She said this the day before she died. Her hair a soft cloud, her eyes alive. She whispered, turn me into a rhyme. Let me be one special moment in time. Then she closed her tired eyes and I said it, I promised, but it all felt like a lie. For I never knew her. I never got the chance to see her eyes, to have her hold me in her arms and smile, to hear her stories and tell her mine. And now that I finally put pen to paper, much too late, 19 years later, and try to turn her into a rhyme, I stutter on the page. For I didn't know her, and all that I could ever write would be, Dear Grandma. Thank you. This poem actually took me a couple of years to write. It's called Hungry Happiness. I knew a young girl once. She was happy, I guess. Once she even beat her dad at chess, and for the rest of the week that became her greatest accomplishment yet. The girl threw her kite upon a hill, and at the times when the wind was still, she sat and looked at the view of the city she had moved to. One day, this young girl stopped eating. Went from day 1 to day 2, her stomach bleating from the pain she put it through. She skipped meals by telling lies, said she'd had something to eat, although she'd only stood and cried, and 2 tomatoes made her feel incomplete. Her weight dropped day by day, candle wax melting, leaving only the wick, and those who noticed did not say a word, for when she was forced, she made herself sick. The young girl went for a lonely walk in the rain, picking flowers for her mother. She wanted to feel all the pain which before she tried to smother. She was alone. She wanted to be. Layers of thick clothes and food in the bin. She wanted no one to see the reality of bones sticking out through her skin. She didn't want to say sorry. It made her cry. And she had said sorry too many times, and every time she said it, she did better. It had been one big lie. One day, she got sent away. Time for pleading had gone, the ambulance came, locked her in a place where colours turned grey. She cried every night in her sleep, while the person beside her wanted to die, the cuts in her arm getting deep. Friendships were fluid. There was no place to hide. And when she stood in a corner, no one stood by her side. After 14 months, she got out. The world had changed, she was walked about, confused by the feeling of being herself. And she had scars in her eyes. How are you doing? She answered with lies. She had been labelled far too long, had lost her fighting will, everything in her head seemed wrong, swallowing pills to make it all stop. I met a young girl a long time ago. Thought that I understood her, but it's only now that I know.